This past year has been the hardest year of my life. And while there's so much that you all see of me on social media, there's so many of my vulnerable moments that I have not shared. It's very important to me that you take the right amount of time that you need off camera, off social media to process emotions, to process events before you bring things to the public, before you decide to speak out loud about things. Because what I've learned most important is protecting your safety, protecting your peace. And that's what I've been doing for the past year plus. By being an influencer, so much of my life is shared online. No blame to anyone because it is my personal decision and I literally love what I do. But that's also typically the moments that you're sharing your triumphs, the moments that you're sharing your successes, and not so much the moments when you're sharing your failures. Because who wants to share that they failed? However, what I've realized, it's important to be vulnerable and it's important to share the low times as well as the high times because so many other people can relate. And that's the whole point of being an influencer and being one in an impactful and powerful way, which is what I always aim to do. And this past year, I've learned so much about myself. It literally taught me so many lessons that I need in life in order to be an amazing young woman in the future. And while I've withheld my vulnerable moments from you all online, I am now ready to speak my truth. Many of my supporters, maybe all of my supporters, noticed the drastic change that my life took last year, which was just as unexpected for me as it was for you all. But nonetheless, due to my mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health, I decided to part ways from my past partner. That wasn't an easy decision for me, but the hard part, in my opinion, is the consequences of the decisions that you make. Basically, you have to choose your hard. You either stay, that's hard. You leave, that's hard. Which hard do you want to deal with? I had to let go of my dark past because I realized I deserved a bright future. There's no decision that I feel like I could have made differently, and there's no regrets that I have. It's really in the small decisions that can impact your life the most. And I know for me personally, moving forward, the woman that I wanted to become at that time, the woman that I am becoming now, chooses myself, chooses my peace, chooses my happiness. And that's something that I know so many other people as well do on a daily basis or even wish that they could do. And it's not an easy thing whatsoever. It takes a lot of thinking and decision making and fear. It's a very fearful thing to do, but I knew that the alternative option would also be very fearful, would be very hard to do as well. And in that moment, there's so much more that you have to think about than just yourself. You have to think about your future, your kids. If you decide to have kids, how is that going to impact your life by you making that decision? It's not an easy thing to do whatsoever, but I knew that it was in my best interest to act the way that I did. Now, with that being said, the point of this video, the point of this evolution of Crystal is not to discuss and speak on that topic for the majority of the video because there's so much more at play that I feel it's time for you guys to experience this journey with me and to come along for the ride, so to speak. I don't want you guys to think that I am going through an emotional time in my life right now. I'm living my life the way I want to live my life. And although those words sound very simple, they have a lot of meaning to them. So many people do not live the life that they want because of fear of others, fear of opinion, fear of rejection. And that's understandable because it's life and we do as humans have emotions. So I just feel as though the biggest takeaway that I've learned from this experience is that putting someone else first will always end up with you being last. And that's literally I would say the motto of this major life change that I experienced. You cannot continue to put others first. And I feel like this is something that's ingrained in a lot of us from childhood, to always put others first, X, Y, Z. And while it's not a time to be selfish as far as you only think about yourself and only what I want and desire is what matters, that's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But at the end of the day, you have to put your wants and your needs and your desires at the forefront. You cannot put someone else's wants, needs, and desires at the forefront, thinking that that's going to make you a better or a bigger priority in their life or they're going to treat you better, because it's not going to happen. That's not how it's going to work. And that's just one of the lessons I've learned on this journey. And that brings me into my next point of introducing the person that I am now. Crystal Nicole. So while we all enjoyed CurlieCrys, Crystal Nicole embodies so much more. CurlieCrys most definitely focused on hair content and a little bit of lifestyle content, but the name alone sounds as if I'm focusing on just hair. However, there is so much more to me. There is so much more that I have become, and there is so much more that I am finally ready to share with you all. Crystal Nicole is someone who is more mature. This is the self-aware version of CurlieCrys. This is the mature, grown up. She knows what she wants. Well, she's working on knowing what she wants. She's working on self-love, self-reflection, self-awareness, vulnerability, femininity. These are all topics that discipline. Let me also include discipline. I'm going to touch more on that in the future. But these are all attributes, and these are all traits that I have worked on over these past years so that I can become a better version of myself. And that's really what I want to be at the forefront of this conversation. And one of those other traits that I've acquired during this time is being able to think for myself as well as being able to validate myself. These are two topics that I have struggled with my entire life. And this journey taught me that I'm going to have to bite the bullet and actually work on these traits if I ever want to become a better woman and if I ever want different outcomes in my life for the future. And these decisions that I've made in my life have upset plenty of people. But one thing that I realize is that those people are not the ones who are experiencing my life. And also, a lot of people are only there present in your life when the going is going good, right? When life is going good, whenever you're doing what they want you to do, now I can be present in your life. But the minute that you decide to do something that's in your best interest, people back away. And that is what's really allowed me to see who I really want to be around in my life. And that's part of the evolution of Crystal Nicole. I can now see things very clearly, and I've realized that doing what's best for me and trusting my intuition, my gut is always what's the best decision. So the inner work that I've done is for the betterment of myself, and I am still doing that inner work. And one thing I've come to realize is a lot of people's unconditional love has many conditions. And I'm just going to leave that one where it's at. So if you guys remember the beginning of this year, the word that I put in place for my motto of 2023 was discipline. More specifically, self-discipline, because the definition of that is when your conscience tells you to do something and you don't talk back. And that was so big for me personally because I know I may know what I need to do, but I don't do it because I'm a procrastinator at times, right? A lot of us are. But having that self-discipline has really molded me this year to helping me achieve the goals that I've always wanted to do and not actually talking back, not saying, oh, well, I'm too tired, I'm not going to do that. But I'm actually working on that self-discipline, which in turn has helped me become a better woman and the woman that I want to be. So that's in forms of working out. I've literally been way more consistent with that because I know the kind of woman that I want to see in the mirror. And that woman most definitely goes to the gym. That woman is active. That woman goes to therapy. That woman journals. That woman reads. That woman has become someone who accepts responsibility, someone who's self-aware. So saying all that to say that this journey that I've been on, I have so much to share with you guys. And I'm so excited for the introduction of Crystal Nicole and just for this journey that we're about to go on because I have so much to share. And I personally want to impact and empower so many other women like myself who have experienced or is currently experiencing a similar situation that I am. So that is what you can expect from me moving forward. I know you guys have also noticed the name change on like all of my platforms. So we are Crystal Nicole. And if you don't know, that is my first and middle name. This is the adult, mature, self-aware version of myself. And I am so excited and ecstatic to just actually finally speak about these things on my page because that's something that I've been just waiting for the right time, waiting until I'm ready to talk about it because that's very important to me. I never want to just speak about a topic because people are asking me. I want to do it when I feel as though the time is right. And I can tell you right now, I am compelled to speak about these topics. If I hadn't gone through the experiences that I did go through, I wouldn't be the woman sitting before you today. I wouldn't have learned the lessons that I've learned in life so I can be a better woman in the future. If I hadn't experienced the relationship that I had, I wouldn't know that I deserved more. I wouldn't know that I wasn't asking for too much. And I'm just not someone who wants little. I want what I deserve. And those are things that I'm going to get in life as well. And I just hope that my vulnerability is speaking volumes to someone out there, and that person is able to relate to my story. Although what I experienced was on a shorter scale, I don't feel like time equates emotion. And one thing that I can say for sure is that from the decisions that I made, I know that my future will thank me. I know my future will be proud of the work I tirelessly put in. And I know my future will applaud me for not allowing my hardest moments to break me, although they tried. So overall, I hope my journey empowers you to never allow your past to dictate your future and to always rise above the obstacles along the way. Because I promise you, it does get better. If you put the work in, it gets better. Don't allow the fear of making a decision to deter you from doing what's in your best interest. I understand it's hard. There's a lot of people who are against you, but you have to do at the end of the day what's best for you in your life. And let me also just say, if you're someone who doesn't agree with the things that like I've said or I've done, that's fine. But I'm not trying to deter anyone from, doing like making a decision that's in their best interest. I personally am just sharing my experience and the things that have helped me along the way to get to where I am. And me being vulnerable is something that is very difficult for me to do, but I do understand the importance of being that way. And I want that to be portrayed through this video. So I am just very excited for this journey that we're about to go on, y'all. If you are new to the channel, subscribe because there's so much that I'm going to be talking about when it comes to self-love, self-worth, self-value, femininity, like becoming the woman that you want to be. And I'm going to be doing that on all of my social media platforms. So although this has been a long time coming for my tried and true, my loyal supporters, I really do hope that this message is taken kindly and you guys actually do understand the reason why I had to respect myself first and put my boundaries first before I share this information with you guys on social media, because this is real life. Okay. And real life be lifing. Okay. Life be lifing, y'all. So I really do love all of you. Thank y'all so much for the support that you guys have shown. I also see in the comments how y'all be defending me, and I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for that as well. So thank y'all so much for all the support, and say hello to Crystal Nicole. Goodbye to CurlieCrys. And that's just how I'm going to end this. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video.